Music of a different sort. We have Bluegrass from the Pointless Brothers.
Everyone to be feels your jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. You're my honeysuckle rose. When you pass by, flowers you beside, and you know the reason why you're more sweeter, goodness knows. My honeysuckle rose. Well, I don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. Hey, sweet, when you stir it up. When I take a sip from those daisy lips, see the honey barely drip. You're more sweeter, goodness knows. My honeysuckle rose. Every honeybee feels your jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them. No, I don't blame them. Goodness knows honeysuckle rose. When you pass by, flowers you beside, and you know the reason why. I don't blame them. No, I don't blame them. Goodness knows honeysuckle rose. Well, I don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. Hey, sweet, when you stir it up. When I take a sip from those daisy lips, see the honey barely drip. You're more sweeter, goodness knows. My honeysuckle rose. Sugar, you just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. Hey, sweet, when you stir it up. When I take a sip from those daisy lips, see the honey barely drip. You're more sweeter, goodness knows. My honeysuckle rose.
That was, of course, Honeysuckle Rose, and that was the Pointless Brothers, and now I would like to introduce you to them. On my far left here is Mike Stern, Buffalo boy, went to Riverside High School, and he was on the lead guitar. Next to him is Charlie Ranney. Charlie is from Michigan. He was playing rhythm guitar. And then on the other side, we have Peter Seaman, who was playing the fiddle, and Peter and Judd Sunshine, right here, Judd, they are both from Long Island. Of course, Judd was playing bass. Judd, I am told you are the spokesman for the group, so I will start off the questioning with you. How did you happen to get into bluegrass, Long Island folk, that you are?
I think it was mainly from an album called Old and the Way for me. Before that, I hadn't even heard much bluegrass. It's not really the heart of bluegrass country in any way.
Yeah, and plus the bass fiddle is not, I don't really think of that so much as a bluegrass instrument, is it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Is this standard bluegrass you play then?
That we play as a band? Not really. We kind of deviate from it more than playing any kind of strict bluegrass. We tend to do other types of songs with bluegrass instruments, but Yeah, right.
Pseudo-bluegrass.
Adapt it to our instrumentation.
Does that mean, Peter, that you do or don't go to bluegrass festivals?
Well, we go to some of them, but we're not a strict bluegrass band. Like strict bluegrass bands usually don't like us because we don't do all the old standards. Like they're like purists. They just like bluegrass music. They don't like anything else. But lately, there's been a lot of bands that come with the same bluegrass instrumentation and do modern songs. They'll do jazz, or they'll do, and they'll just keep the same instruments and do new songs.
When did you change from the violin to the fiddle, or was there a time that,
Well,
you changed your style there?
No, I just there's really the only difference between a violin and a fiddle is the way that you play it.
I know it, but isn't there
Yeah, right,
vibrato with
it's
a violin and you don't play vibrato with a fiddle?
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. I kind of mix. I play like a violin, fiddle. I play a little, not really one of each style. I play some of each.
Well, did you two get into bluegrass together in high school?
Yeah, well,
or?
we grew up together. We just started playing together in
Right.
little bands.
Just, we each turned each other on to different music.
Judd had to start playing the bass because there was one in his room.
Right.
So his father owns a music store, and there was one in his room.
Sitting
so
there, might as well give it a
he'd-
shot.
he'd learn
Well,
how
that's
to
a good
play
reason.
it.
You play a lot of other instruments then, Judd, do you? Or?
Well, I played electric bass first before the string bass, so the change wasn't that major.
Okay.
A few others.
Let's move over to Mike, because I know the next song we're going to play, you wrote, and you do write about what percentage of the
Just a
things you
few
write?
songs. We all write a few songs, but we just happen to do the couple that I did.
I see. Are there any strict rules for writing bluegrass, or
No, I don't write bluegrass. Well, mostly bluegrass is a lot of old songs that are done a certain way with certain kind of harmony and certain kind of playing, and we don't do that kind of music. We use bluegrass instruments, instruments that are associated
Yeah.
with bluegrass, and just pick songs that we like, and
well, do you do the
Deviants.
arrangements then?
we all do. We all figure them out. One of us would come up with a song, and then teach it to the others, and the others would give ideas, and it would just come out however.
It's real anarchy. There's no real. We all contribute to the arrangements.
Yeah, but I would think there always has to be. They say there has to be a leader someplace. There is no leader
no.
here.
Especially not when we're working on songs. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's really.
The only thing that approaches the leadership role when we're learning a song is that one person knows the song and the other three don't, and that one person teaches it to the other
may
three.
have an idea what he thinks it will sound like, but sometimes after rehearsing it never comes out that way.
So what will you do, Charlie? You play the line, the melody line, and then everybody else just sort of picks up with whatever instrument they feel like playing.
If it's a complicated, if the melody is a strict melody, like in a fiddle tune, then everyone has to know it note for note. If it's a singing song, and generally a singing song won't have nearly as strict a melody as a fiddle tune, the other members of the band just have to learn a few lines to sing harmony with. They learn the chords and learn a few lines on the chorus or something to sing harmony with, and the song's done. So it depends on the complication of the melody.
You have to learn the do-woo-de-woos.
Yeah, and that song's a good example. As a whole band, the only notes that all of us had to learn together was that do. Now that didn't take very long.
Right.
If you asked me the words to Honeysuckle Rose, I couldn't tell you.
Right, but other songs we will spend more time on the vocals, like when we do 4-part harmonies and things, we'll spend more time on the vocals than the music, actually, because that takes longer to get down. We sit around and sing doot-doots for 3 days straight. So we're all sick of
drives
them.
the landlord crazy.
Okay, we're going to hear another song now. We're going to hear a song by Mike Stern, right?
Yeah.
It's called One and Only.
Look for something in the night. Look for someone to hold me tight. Look for someone to walk with me. Tell me something, talk to me. Something gonna happen pretty soon. Gonna be crazy as a loon. Something happened when I met her. She's with me and I feel better 'cause she's my one and only. There ain't nothing else you can show me. Suddenly I don't feel so lonely. She's my one and only. I got $1.25. Sometimes I get a little bit short. So desperate it ain't funny, living on whatever don't cost money. I get up just to go to bed, walk around like the living dead till we sit down, drink some coffee. She's with me, the world gets off me. She's my one and only. Ain't nothing else you can show me. Suddenly I don't feel so lonely. She's my one and only. I confess I get all distressed about absolutely nothing. I get on the phone, I'm all alone till she tells me she's coming. I confess I get all distressed about absolutely nothing. I get on the phone, I'm all alone till she tells me she's coming. Look for something in the night, look for someone to hold me tight, look for someone to walk with me, tell me something, talk to me. Something gonna happen pretty soon, gonna be crazy as a loon. Something happened when I met her, she's with me and I feel better 'cause she's my one and only. Ain't nothing else you can show me. Suddenly I don't feel so lonely. She's my one and only. She's my one and only.
Well, now that I mentioned that these guys play bluegrass, of course, we had two swing numbers. And I was commenting to them the last week after we taped that segment that we were jitterbugging to them in the control room. So you really don't play much bluegrass at all, eh, Charlie?
Our music is roughly divided to half bluegrass-oriented and half non-bluegrass-oriented. Anything we play with the banjo is bluegrass-oriented. And when I put down the banjo and play rhythm guitar like I was on those two songs, we're not playing bluegrass. Those two songs were swing tunes. The first one was written by Fats Waller, would be considered definitely a classic swing tune. The last one we did, Mike wrote in the swing style.
Classic swing.
Do you usually write in the swing style or just...
Yeah, well, that just comes from listening to a lot of it. That's mostly what I listen to is real old, swing songs from the 30s and the 40s, especially the Western swing like Bob Wills and, well, there's a lot of others, but he was the biggest.
The old sort of Sons of the Pioneers thing, isn't that
Well,
what they did?
they were more vocal.
Yeah.
These were like big bands that used fiddles and steel guitars.
Combination.
Right, instead of having big horn bands, they'd have big
Strings.
string bands, right, with guitars, fiddles, bass.
Okay, so we have a preference for swing. Do you two have any preference? I mean, do you really have still that preference for bluegrass? Or
I listen to very little bluegrass, personally.
what do you listen to?
More rock and roll.
He's a Grateful Dead freak.
I see,
Right.
I see.
You see, when he mentioned the album Old in the Way as how he was introduced to bluegrass, see, Jerry Garcia played banjo on that album. That's the Grateful Dead connection, which is true for many people. Many young people today were introduced to bluegrass through that band because
of Jerry
they
Garcia.
followed Jerry Garcia.
So that was done actually before Grateful Dead.
No,
He was with them before?
during.
At the same
all
time?
at the same time, pretty much, yeah.
Well, how about you, Peter, and your preference?
I like all kinds of music. Anything that's done well. I just listen to everything.
Well, do you play for dances? I know you're at the Central Park Grill on Sunday nights. I know that. And that not much place to dance at the Central
Right.
Park Grill.
We play weddings where people tend to dance. Some of the bars that we play at where there's more room to dance, people will move.
We just played at the Charity Ball, which was a huge dance at the Hilton.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we played at that. That was a huge dance.
Were you
Barroom
one of a
Buzzards.
couple of
Lot.
bands, or
Yeah.
were you?
Yeah.
There was a group called the Barroom Buzzards that
Yeah.
was a Dixieland
Yeah,
band.
we
They were
alternated.
great.
They're great.
But,
Well, tell us some of the upcoming dates that you have, so people can see you out there in person,
pretend I'm
in public.
at the bar. Right?
Spokesman. Yeah.
This Friday, what is it, the 30th, I think? We'll be at the Shady Grove in Boston, Route 219. Saturday night, we're playing at the Hat Trick in Kenmore. And weeks to come, we're doing 2 nights in Geneseo on the 6th and 7th. We're playing at the Ellicottville Depot. We just got that today. Be there on the 13th and the 21st. How do I remember this? On the 20th, we'll be at the Schuper House again. Right.
Okay, and you are at the Central Park Grill on
We're
Main
at the,
Street?
right. We're at the Central Park Grill every Sunday.
Every
For
Sunday.
the rest of our lives.
Right. The Schuper House, we play there about once a month.
Great. Okay, so you can just follow them in the newspaper. They're called the Pointless Brothers. And we have one last number here. We have Darlin', You Know Where I'll Be. And this is the medley,
On TV.
Pointless Brothers.
Oh, darling, you tell me you love me, and darling, tell me you care. Then you tell me that you're going out for the evening, but darling, you don't tell me where. When I'm with you, it's almost like heaven. It's like flowers and sweet, pretty things. But sometimes you leave me suspiciously wondering just what the next day's gonna bring. Sometimes our love's just like magic. It's almost like floating on air. And sometimes it's only a misunderstanding, just couldn't go anywhere. I don't know what to do with you, darling. I don't know, and it's getting to me. But the next time that you get the notion to see me, darling, you know where I'll be. Sometimes our love's just like magic, like being caught in a world all our own. And sometimes it's only a misunderstanding, you running around and me staying at home. I don't know what to do with you, darling. I don't know, and it's getting to me. But the next time that you get the notion to see me, darling, you know where I'll be. Oh, darling, you know where I'll be.
great sound from the Pointless Brothers.